Bonjour mes amis, bienvenue, welcome to the Paris itinerary. So I'm very excited about today's video. I'm going to be sharing with you my review of Travelon Bags Classic Cross-body Bucket Bag number 42757. And they sent me the bag to take with me on my recent trip to Paris to really road test it out and in exchange give you a review of what I thought about the bag. So I'm going to start off by saying I love this bag, and not just because they gave it to me for free. It has some really great features that I really loved when I was touring around Paris, and I'm also going to go through those features, but I'm also going to show you what I put in my bag. These are everything I carried with me around the city. I always find it really helpful when people share that information so you can kind of gauge, even if you're not carrying all the same things as I am, that and it kind of gauges the size. Also, you might hear the lawnmower in the background. I think my neighbor decided to start mowing his lawn during my video. So hey, it's real life, people. So first, let's start off by showing you the bag. It's a crossbody. Show you the different sides. I kind of call it my Goldilocks bag because it's not too big, it's not too small, it's just right. And you'll see I can put a lot of stuff in this bag. So we'll start off with the back. It has a zipper compartment here. Now this is not a secured compartment. You'll see on the front that there are some secured compartments. I wore it crossbody this way, across my shoulder this way. So this particular compartment was towards my body. And I kept flat items like metro map, brochures that I picked up at the different sites. I also like to usually print things out before I leave, and things I want to see. So I had those in my bag, which was nice and easy. If we go across the side, you'll see that each side has a zippered compartment. Opened at the top, it's a little hard to see in this light. It just unzips like that, has a mesh lining. And in here, because of course we're going to Paris, we have a travel umbrella. This is kind of a micro-sized one. A regular travel umbrella will also fit. This was one of my favorite features of the bag. Kept it in there, nice and zipped, had it with me all the time, didn't really weigh me down. On the other side, I like to keep, again, another zipper component, my sunglasses, and then my mini tripod for my camera. Makes it really accessible. You can fit a water bottle in here. I didn't really carry it with a water bottle, but one will fit on both sides if you're really thirsty, I guess. On the front, it has a pocket, open pocket. Kleenexes is pretty much the only thing I kept in there, but it was kind of nice if you needed to stuff something quickly. Now, if we get to the feature, the locking components, this top zipper and these two zippers will all lock into this little mechanism right here. Let me show it to you this way. It's on a little elastic band, so it snaps in and out real easily. And the bag, I'll just show you, see if you can see it here. Oh, you know what, let's start down here. These two zipper holes and this one right here lock together, and your bag is all secure. Your contents are secure, so it's zipping, so it's locking this zipper bag and this top zipper. When I was touring around, I primarily kept just the top one locked, like this. But sometimes I was in places where I felt I needed a little more security, so I locked all three. This is probably my #1 favorite feature about the bag, and the reason I really like this is it allowed me to feel that my contents of my bag was secure, and then I could take out my camera, I could take pictures, look up, around, everywhere, and not worry about people pickpocketing my bag. That's a big problem in Paris, so you want to make yourself as less likely of a target as possible. And having this little mechanism, it was going to take them a lot more work. I felt like I was less of a target in that case. Always still aware that it was, in my body and aware of my belongings, but at the same time it gave me some freedom to really use my camera, research stuff for my blog, not always be worried about the content, someone reaching their hand in the bag. So we'll show you what I have in this compartment, and zips on both sides, which is really handy when you're wearing it across the side. You can get down into your bag real easily. Here's a side view. So I like to carry a little travel notebook to keep notes in, so I fit that in there. My phone. Now this is actually not the phone I travel with, which is a whole other story. I traveled with one of my older phones, so that was partly why I didn't keep this particular compartment locked all the time, because really it was so old it didn't even have a SIM card. I didn't really care if someone stole it. I was primarily using it just for a text app to text with my husband. Of course, lipstick. I mean, no girl can go to Paris without lipstick. And then a couple of pens, and these kind of tended to migrate to different compartments, but they would start out the day there. So then here on the flap, I'll pull this down so you can see, there are two little compartments right here. In one, the larger one, I kept my essential oil beadlets and my lip balm. And then the other, I use this feature probably as much as I use the locking mechanism, was to hold tickets. So when you're going in and out of certain sites like Versailles or the Louvre, you need your tickets to get back into the different wings, for example, of the Louvre, so you have to show your ticket. This kept it nice and handy, just right here, easy to grab. Also, I kept my metro tickets. I always buy a carnet, which are 10 metro tickets, and so it was a nice compartment. I could keep them all right in here, easily get them and grab them when I went through the metro, kept it nice and organized. So I really loved having this feature, which is just a simple pocket, but I used it quite a lot. So in the middle compartment here, this is primarily where I kept my camera. So I had my DSLR camera with the lens attached, and I like to have a crossbody camera sling. And so this thing right here is actually probably the thing that gave me the most grief in terms of getting it in the bag. It had a tendency, because I couldn't put it any direction without it sticking towards the bag, which isn't the bag's fault. I'm just kind of pointing that out so you know, if you use a mechanism like this, that sometimes it's a little hard to get it in the bag with other lenses. I did on occasion take one of my longer lenses in here and stuffed it at the bottom. It really made the bag, of course, a lot heavier, but I really kind of had to really work at zipping this up. Just because of the contents I was wearing. But I did notice that even though it was stressing the zipper, it didn't pull. I wasn't concerned that the zipper was going to come pull apart. So I thought it was good construction. Like I said, I really didn't baby this bag, and it passed the test. So in here, I also carry with me a point and shoot camera, because sometimes you just can't pull out your big DSLR camera, and maybe the weather or whatever the case is. So this also fits in here nicely. So I have two cameras in one bag. It has an LED light, and I'll use it actually to kind of show the other compartments. So in here, you'll see there's a mesh bag, or a mesh compartment. Has a zipper right there. Kind of can see that. So sometimes I put my money pouch in here. Sometimes my pens end up there. I didn't have any designated use for it, but it was kind of nice to have it just to segregate out some, stuff from the rest of your bag. Then on the other side, let's see if I get my light to work here. There's compartments right there to hold your debit cards, credit cards, and then there's a pocket right up here at the top. So this is the coin pouch that I use. When you travel to Paris, you'll find, or really any place that uses the euros, they use coins way more than they use bills, and so it's handy to have a little coin pouch like this. And I just would put it right up here at the top. It was, again, easy for me to access. Sometimes I put it in the mesh compartment on the other side, but for the most part I kept it right there. Then all my credit cards and my ATM card was right here. So while we're talking about this particular feature right here, it has RFID technology that prevents your information being transmitted from your credit card or your passport out into the air. No real way that I can test that, but I like having that security feature. And that's it for all the components of the bag and how I used it and what I used the bag for. So let me go over a couple other security features besides, again, my #1 favorite security feature. The bag also has about halfway up and across the bottom an anti-slash mesh. Also, it is on the straps, And basically that's to prevent someone coming up, taking a knife, slashing your bag, hoping the contents fall out. They grab it, they go, or they slash your strap, your bag falls to the ground, you're in a state of shock, someone grabs your bag and runs off. So those anti-theft features are included in this bag. I thought those were really great features to have. Luckily, nobody came at me with a knife, so I didn't really get that tested out, which I'm kind of thankful for, of course. But that's an extra feature. I also think the mesh, as well as the construction of the bottom of the bag, helped the bag keep its shape. Sometimes on a bucket bag or a crossbody bag, you know, they have a tendency for all your contents to droop to the center. That didn't happen in this bag. It held its shape nicely, and I really, really liked that feature. So the one last feature to talk about, this little carbonator right here, has a little twist lock. Undo that. And then the strap will come off on this end. It's attached at this end. And this allows you to hook it around a chair back or a table leg or a pole or somewhere where you might need it a little more secure. And then you can just pull it back together and twist it back up. I felt that these features kept the contents of the bag really safe. Like I said, the big thing when you're in Paris is you don't want to be a target, well, really any city, you don't want to be a target of a pickpocketer. So any extra effort they have to go to, they're going to just walk away and avoid you. So I'm going to give this bag a thumbs up. I think you should go check it out. Go to travelonbags.com. They have a bunch of other wonderful bags and some product videos that go through the security features in more depth, give you a little bit more detailed information. So go check them out the next time you're going to go to Paris and see if they have a travel bag that works for you. Until next time, peace.